Hey guys, we're going to go over the homework questions. The first thing you need to do is make sure that you have your homework questions out. Those are the questions about the monster drinks. If you weren't in class or you have somehow misplaced yours, maybe it's buried under snow, please ask for a new one so that you can do this. Okay, you also need a pair of headphones, otherwise you can't hear me right now, so have headphones. And you need a red pen. You should have been provided with a red pen. You'll do all of your writing in the red pen. If you got an answer wrong, write the correct one with the red pen. If you didn't put an answer, write the correct one with the red pen. I want to see the difference between what you wrote down for homework and what you're writing down now. Okay, so pause if you need to and go get what you need, and here we go. All right, so here's our questions. Our problem statement is going to be, here we go, what is the effect of drinking Monster on student behavior? Okay, it doesn't have to be those exact things, but that's pretty much what we're looking for. Okay, how does drinking Monster affect student behavior? Based on the introduction here, we can tell that Mrs. Barbash thinks that drinking Monster makes students really obnoxious. So here's our hypothesis. If students drink Monster before class, then they will be more disruptive. And you can put your own because in there. My because is going to say it has way too much sugar and caffeine in it. Okay, so make sure that you match up with that or you're really close. Okay, so from that, we can now draw the conclusion that our independent variable is, in fact, drinking Monster drinks, and our dependent variable is student behavior. Okay, if you read it literally, you might have said that it would be the number of times that Mrs. Barbash has to yell at them. Okay, because that's exactly what they're counting. So remember, we talked about our dependent variable is what you're counting or measuring. In this case, we're counting the number of times that Mrs. Barbash yells. Surprise. Okay, our control experiment. Remember, this is going to be your normal or average situation. Please tell me that it is not normal to be drinking Monster before school. In this case, our control experiment is going to be not drinking Monster. You might want to choose something like drinking water, okay? But that would bring us on to our constants. So as long as you're looking at not drinking Monster or drinking something other than Monster, then we would say that that's a good choice for your control experiment. Okay, now we're looking at constants. We have a lot of choices for our constants, okay? Things they should keep the same, other things that could possibly cause students to behave in a disruptive manner or cause Mrs. Barbash to yell at students. So we would be looking at time of day, what they had for breakfast. Okay, we might be looking at other students in the class. Okay, today's lesson, is it boring? Is it exciting? Are they throwing things around? What else might cause students to behave strangely? Mrs. Barbash's mood? I don't know, you tell me. Actually, don't tell me, okay? But at any rate, these are all examples of things that should be constant, things you need to keep the same, which could otherwise affect students' behavior in class. All right? So far, so good. Keep in mind that when you do the real science practice problems on the Google form, these are all going to be multiple choice, and the constants are going to be check boxes, and you need to choose 3 of them. So there's always more than one constant. Okay, so now we're looking at the graph. Okay, does Monster affect student behavior? We're going to cite 3 examples from the data. That's key. Remember that this is worth 7 points. Okay, so you can't just say yes or no. Yes or no is not going to get you any points. We need to start off by stating whether or not the hypothesis was supported. When we look at this graph, we can see that the hypothesis was supported because students were more disruptive when they were drinking Monster. Okay, and yes, I know you guys are probably looking at those initials on there and wondering, are these real students? These are real students, okay? This came from a real event which happened in my class many years ago, but these are real students that this is designed around. We didn't actually do this experiment, but it was inspired by actual students. Okay, so here we go. They're more disruptive when they're drinking Monster. Remember, you only get 1 point for supporting your hypothesis. Now we need actual numbers from the graph. So let's say, let's just choose 3 of those 4 students to talk about. It's very easy. We'll choose the ones that are the most obvious, okay? So we'll say M was disruptive 18 times with Monster and only 12 times without. See, that right there is a sentence worth 2 points. If I just said that M was disruptive more times with Monster, that's only going to get you 1 of those 2 points. You need to remember to include the actual numbers from the graph. That's the most important thing. Okay, so then we'll go on to J. J was disruptive 16 times with Monster and only 7 times without. Like, J's practically an angel here, huh? Okay, finally, we're going to just move to the next one. We'll say that C was disruptive 16 times with Monster and 13 times without. Kind of makes you wonder if something else is up with C, doesn't it? At any rate, we now have written a complete 7-point answer. We have supported our answer with actual numbers from the data. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap this up with a concluding sentence. Data suggests that students should not drink Monster before attending science class. How's that for a plan? Okay, so make sure that you got this written down. Make any adjustments to your answer that you need to. Okay, pause if you need to. When you're done, you want to turn in your homework. Okay, don't turn it in if you haven't written everything down. These are absolutely 100% free points that I'm giving you. Write everything down. Okay, make sure your name is on it too, please. When you turn in your homework, also turn in your headphones and your red pen. Then you're going to go back to your Google Classroom. You're going to go on to answer the science practice problems. You should know exactly what to do to get 100% and get a good grade into your 3rd quarter grade book here, okay? I've just given you the exact answers that you need in order to do a good job with this.